Now let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Play ball!
After finishing second 3 in a row, can Arteta and Arsenal do one better in the upcoming season? They bought plenty players, even though they let Partey and Jorginho go, but they replaced them and they bought Madueke, bought in a striker. Arsenal has been crying for a striker for, I don't even remember the last time Arsenal bought a pure number 9, but they brought in GYOKERES. Can they do one better in the upcoming season? We are going to discuss about Arsenal 2025-2026 season and what we think will happen with them if they can or will challenge or win the Premier League next season. Before I continue, please remember guys to subscribe to our channel, like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. Okay, after finishing second 3 in a row, Arsenal fans and Arsenal board, they want to do one better. They trust Arteta, but the rumors is that this is supposed to be his final season. If he does not deliver something big, they will let him go. Even though truthfully, Arteta has stabilized Arsenal. Yeah, it made them stable from struggling team to a stable team that everybody in quote is afraid to play. But finishing third in a row, they fell short again against Liverpool. Now they bought strikers. They are looking for number 9. They bought GYOKERES. Let's think. Even though that they don't like Madueke, but Madueke is in the team, whether they like it or not. They are talking to us, but I don't know if that one will go through. But if you look at Arsenal in general, the problem is that last season was supposed to be the best opportunity for them to win the league if they went to the market and bought, if they buy the same thing they bought this season for last season, they would have probably challenged or won that Premier League. But unfortunately for them, they did not do well in the transfer market. Now, this upcoming season, what do you think will happen with Arteta, with all his signings and all, if he's going to challenge or probably win the Premier League this season? Let me start with you, Nosu.
Well, for Arteta, finishing second in second place in 3 seasons in a row is, I said at some point there is going to be a time in the season where you have to observe law of diminishing return. You finish second, if you don't win the league the next season, you go down. And like this, he didn't win last season. I think he let Liverpool. I would say he let Liverpool come from nowhere and win the league because nobody was expecting Liverpool to do anything. And Man City was off their game last season. So last season was allegedly Arsenal season, and finishing second again that season, I feel like getting all the strikers in, you have to drop down a little. You have to let your foot on the pedal a little to push forward again. So I think this season he's not even going to finish in the second place. He's not going to finish third. He might be finishing fourth this season. Possibly, like I said, possibly finish fourth this season, then come out next season to win the Premier League next season. That's in 2026, 2027.
What if he doesn't have next season?
That's the thing. If he wins the FA Cup and goes to the Champions League final, he probably might have the next season. You get, if he wins the FA Cup and goes to the Champions League final, not win the FA Cup and finish 7th. It will not be. He will not have another season. We've talked about Arteta in his first half season, not in his first half season. He won the FA Cup. There were some managers that did better in their first half season. After 3 years, they were let off their jobs. Arteta has gone in the first half season, won the FA Cup, steadies the team.
Yeah, the ship is steady now.
Let players go. You don't want to play because of your ego. I don't want dressing room crisis. You can leave. No problem. I will get players in. And from there, you have the likes of... I never in my life imagined or envisioned a Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson, Maitland-Niles play for Arsenal. I saw them play before they came to Arsenal first team. But I never imagined them, like, the way they flopped. I never imagined Arteta paid... Was it Arteta that paid that fee to sign in Nicolas Pepe? 17.
No.
I think
yeah.
No, sorry. I think it was Emery that or somebody that got Nicolas Pepe in, and Arteta saw him and like, it's not Arsenal policy, and you bought a player of 70+ million and you put him on the bench for a young academy graduate in Bukayo Saka, and that guy has gone on to become one of the prospects or one of the players you say he's world class. You know, he's the best. He's the best. In short, when you're talking about Premier League for the Premier League right wingers for the past 10 years, you put him as one of the best that has played in that position. You get, that's what Arteta has done for the team. But now we're looking at, bro, it's not about steadying the ship, it's about winning trophies. You get, at some point we want to compare them to, I think, another team in England that has been struggling, but has gone to about 6 finals. They've not won anything, but every time they show up in the finals, let's not say they win, but they show up in the finals with a struggling team. Please, Arteta, be that guy. Let's not that, okay, fine, at all, we went to a final, we were unlucky and we lost. You get done finishing second place and not getting to the FA Cup or Champions League semi-finals. It's a problem. I feel like Arsenal has gone past that stage now. So next season, we're looking at Arsenal as relax, absorb to throw the better punch. You get, it's not about always, I always say this in boxing, it's not about dishing out the punches. At some point, you just need to take the punches. But I think Arteta this season has been giving out the punches. Take the punches and re-strategize.
Okay, John, what if you look at this particular Arsenal team now? Every position, if you look at it, has two players in it. If you look at the goalkeeper, Raya, they brought in kepa from Chelsea. If you look at the right back, there are two players. The defense, they brought in Mosquera. They have Saliba, they have Gabriel, they have Kyo. The left back, they have. If you look at the players, if you look at Arsenal, apart from that left wing, everybody is still arguing if Madueke and Martinelli can play, can sustain that wing. Apart from that, other position has been good. Arteta has finished 3 in a row. Arsenal fans want to test trophy. No be every time you go to tell us story we have built this. You know, I can remember Real Madrid. Real Madrid brought in Jose Mourinho. In 3 years, he stabled that ship because they keep crashing out of round of 16th. They brought in Jose Mourinho. He stabled the ship, challenged Barcelona, and they matched Barcelona, and they sacked him and brought in another coach that won them the Champions League. So probably Arsenal might be thinking that too, but they have to give. I think they have to give Arteta. They backed Arteta again very well. This is important a striker for him. Bought in midfield, 2 midfielders for him, bought in defenders, all the players he wants, they gave him. Even Madueke, he personally wanted Madueke and they gave him Madueke, so he has no excuse. He must deliver a trophy, a major trophy this season.
Arsenal have absconded 2 golden opportunities to win the Premier League on the back of Arteta's big-headedness and Arteta's ego. Because if you look at the only title Arteta had is the FA Cup. And he won that FA Cup off the back of old players that were in that squad, assembled by Unai Emery and Arsene Wenger before he left or retired. So, if we cut that team, because Arteta came in and was desperate to force all those guys out, Arsenal had Aubameyang, Arsenal had Lacazette, Arsenal had a couple of key players in that side that ensured they lifted that FA Cup trophy. Arteta came in and forced everybody out. Because, like Luis Enrique, he has a compulsive need to let every good thing about this club be his credit, not the player's credit. So when Arsenal needed a striker and it was clear for the world to see, he went and brought in Havertz. Put Havertz in that position in the midfield, it wasn't working, forced him up forward. When Arsenal needed, at the end of that 2 seasons ago, when they needed to sign a striker, he went and brought in Jova. Arsenal now bought into the mentality from Arteta that we have to score goals through set pieces. It now became the rave of the moment. How many set pieces will you score? How long will you score it continually without fixing the fundamental problem, which is your attack is missing?
They don't buy striker for next season now.
Everybody don't know your tactics now. Yeah.
See, you know,
everybody don't know that tactics now.
I talk about the Arsenal, the Man United floor and how they set up. Look at Arsenal's games in the preseason as well. You will know how they want to play. There will be a lot of crosses in, definitely. There will be a lot of passes. But you can't, I can't sit down and say, okay, fine. I'm looking for one pass between midfield and attack to get the ball. Break the defense with your pass.
Odegaard can do that.
But in the last couple of games that I've seen, it didn't do. It was also always from go flank, try and cut back, pass to somebody running in, which is a problem. I feel like no matter how I want to say Odegaard is creative enough, he doesn't have that vision for pass to break the defense line.
I disagree with you.
Everybody has different level of observation, but I feel like I'm not saying you might have your own what you observe, but I observe that because I feel like the only way he makes those passes is when he's trying to cross the ball in, maybe when he drifts to the right and he wants to make a cross in. But aside that, when you're progressing the ball, you're playing a tiki-taka kind of ball, and you see a player make a certain run, and you pass the ball, and he splits, they call it defense splitting pass, and he splits the defense to get the striker in a 1v1 situation.
There was no striker at Arsenal last season.
There was no striker at
Arsenal last season.
Wait, let me finish.
There was no striker at Arsenal last season.
I'll say during the preseason games I saw Arsenal play, there were 2 or 3 games where GYOKERES started for Arsenal, and I didn't see that move.
GYOKERES has started just 1 game for Arsenal. The other games he came in as a sub. And the reason you will not see that is that last season when Arsenal were playing, there was no striker up forward. And you need a striker that has that presence in that front position
To make that
that will draw other defenders to him. You will play the splitting pass through that defense and get him. You can't do that when the guy that will do that job is not there. And then secondly,
it's possible.
yes, now, and then secondly, Odegaard is now going to go and romance the right wing. What are you doing on the right wing? You are playing as a 10 in the middle. Play your middle.
I think part of the thing that probably Arteta needs to fit now he has a striker is where he set up his team.
Thank
because
you.
Now when he was playing Havertz will join them in the midfield. So
Moreno will join the midfield
yes,
and create.
Odegaard
That's what I
was
said
forced
in the preseason game. I
So move
saw.
elsewhere.
Odegaard is forced to always pass to Saka because nobody's always making that forward.
No, like I said, now
they have a striker,
like
they
I
need
said,
to
you know,
change something.
there was a game where they started without him and GYOKERES. It was the new signings that all started in midfield. Moreno, norgaard, and I think one area and all of that started in midfield, and there was nobody up front. Then in second half they brought up. I said he had played like 3 games with Arsenal this preseason, this off season. He's played 3 games with Arsenal so far, or perhaps 2 games. Two games with Arsenal this off season. And I saw this one, and I'm like, why would you still be going to the flanks?
Well, we have to see how Arteta is going to set up his team for next season. It's going to be interesting. They bought players and they let players go like Partey and other players left Arsenal. They brought in Zubimendi in that midfield. Rice will play obviously because almost they spent 100 million last season for Rice or 2 seasons ago. Now they have a striker in GYOKERES. Can GYOKERES lead them score that goals that will take them to the promised land? 3 in a row. Arteta needs to find something that works. In case now they have a striker, if he's going to change tactics, better for him. But if not, if he finish second in a row, maybe they might sack him. Maybe I'm not saying I'm not asking for, but
see, Arteta, if Arteta manage carry Carabao Cup, finish top 2.
He will stay next
He will stay there. Nothing you want tell me. Nothing you want tell me.
If he carries Carabao Cup, it's not acceptable, according to Arsenal fans. Maybe John is saying it might be acceptable, but
I'm telling you, this is the same. Excuse me. This is the same Arsenal fans that were chanting, "You Premier League or go." This is the same Arsenal fans that were chanting, "We are winning Champions League. To hell with Premier League, we win it." At the end of the day, everybody still quiet. Everybody still absorb the shock. So I'm saying this season,
we are winning Champions League. Now you
everybody
meet
still
PSG.
absorb the shock.
Wait, now you meet PSG. No hope again. Now.
You know where the thing pain me pass, Now when you lose shamefully for the first leg, second leg you carry the same players, the same pattern, the same every shamefully exit.
Well, that's why you're talking about next season. Next season it has to change because they
that's
have players, different
They
players.
have
like I said.
Look at what Nonso is saying now in this preseason. It's still going to take a lot of talking to and adapting because everybody is still wired to follow that ball through the right. We saw it in preseason too. So it has to be a deliberate change. And then secondly, talking about where they are going to finish this season, bro. Everybody has been singing for Arsenal saying I never win anything. My brother, even Man U when they complain, shebi when they won that Carabao Cup before they won the FA Cup second under Eric Ten Hag, they said all of them celebrate. Bro, Arsenal win even in the FA Cup.
No, John, before the Carabao Cup finish and the FA Cup finish, they've gone to like 4 finals or 5 finals under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. FA Cup finals, Carabao. I think they lost one FA Cup final to Man City. They lost to Villarreal in the Europa League finals. They went to European finals. They lost a semi-finals to Sevilla in the Champions League. I think was it in the Champions League or so. They lost the Champions League semi-finals or quarter final. No, only first season now we beat PSG for.
Okay, yes.
They lose now semi-final, been a quarter final. They come out. You get the next season Europa League semi-final. The next one final. So semi-finals, finals. That's why they at least in 3 years was at least worth saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 3 years in Manchester United is better than Arteta's 5 years. Some people say that. You get, but I also feel like this year, this 2025-2026 season that we are about to, we've already kickstarted the season because in the Premier League we kickstarted the season with the Community Shield in England. So in England we've already kickstarted the season. Next month we'll start the Carabao Cup run of play. Man United will start from the first play for the first round. Now I feel like this season not start. So this season Arteta should at least go to 2 finals at least. We don't play what they call Emirates Cup final where they win for preseason. Now make it test that trophy as they be. But FA Cup final is what we are looking at. FA Cup final, Champions League final. If you cannot carry the Champions League, come to top 8, finish 8, go and play Conference League. At least we'll be sure that we can at least see that you play the Conference League.
I no agree.
Than playing in the Champions League.
If Arsenal finish anything above top 5, they'll sack Arteta. But let's see.
If Arsenal drop to 3, then go sack that one. Even if he carry Carabao Cup.
Let's be honest here. If Arsenal finished 4th, they will not sack Arteta.
Well, we have to see, but the thing that Arteta and Arsenal fans actually on board. They want to take trophy. Everybody is angry. Everybody is looking forward to next season. That's why they are angry. They want to buy Eze, but they probably madueke is going to play from that left wing. I think they bought the striker after so many years that even the Black could see that they needed a striker, and that they bought in GYOKERES. 2025-2026 season is going to be tough. It's going to be exciting, and Arsenal is going to play Manchester United in their first game of the season. That particularly will set the pace of the upcoming games they're going to have. They need to show ambition. They need to show that they are ready to challenge. Remember, everybody is buying players. City bought plenty players. Manchester United bought strikers. Even Liverpool is still going to buy. They are buying and still going to buy Isak. So everybody has boosted their squad. Can Arteta do one better than he has done in 3 seasons in a row? Can he? Or if he doesn't, do you think that they should sack him? Drop your comment on the comment section or you think about Arsenal in 2025-2026 season if they are able to challenge or win the Premier League next season.